What's up guys, welcome to another What's Sold video. I'm going to give you 15 items. I'm going to put them up on the screen. These are all items that sold on eBay. I'm going to tell you what I paid, where I got them from, how long they took to sell, what they sold for, and my approximate net profit. This is a good learning source for resellers to see what's active and what's selling, and find new things to look for when you're in the stores. Alright, so the first up, I've sold many of these before and I'm sure you've seen them. I often find Toomey bags, and I've said it before, pull the tags off the bag, sell them separately. The tag is not going to add any value to your selling price of your bag, and you can sell the tags usually for $15 to $20 range. So I sold this one for $16.75 with free shipping. I'm going to say zero cost because I took it off a bag that I had paid for. And after fees and everything, I netted $11.50, and this took 3 weeks to sell. Next up, I have a Nerf dart drum. This is like the magazine that holds the darts for the guns. When I see these at the bins, I always grab them. I try to avoid the guns except for the smaller ones, just for the ease of shipping. And the magazines and the drums are quick sellers. Everybody always wants to have extras of those when they own a gun. So it costs probably 25 cents at the bins. Took 1 week to sell, sold for $12.95 with free shipping, and I netted about $7. All right, next up, the brand is called Kickware. It's like a, I actually looked it up because I never heard of it before. It's kind of like a rave, like from the 90s style, nightclub type party. That's what they described it as, like rave wear. Either way, I found it at the bins, excellent condition, paid probably about $2 for it. Took 2 months to sell, sold for $23.75 with $7 shipping. Folded it up, put it into a padded flat rate because it was over a pound. And after fees and everything, I netted about $19.50. All right, next up is something that always sells, and when you see it, as long as you're getting it for a good price, always buy it. Even if it's expired, within a couple of years, people still buy them. So this is a box of Canon ink. I paid $1 for it. It took 3 days to sell, sold for $19.75 with free shipping, and I netted about $12. And I got this from a local thrift. All right, here's something that I knew wasn't going to be a big money maker, but they were so cheap, they were new, and there was a bunch of them when I was at the local thrift store. This is just a pacifier with a clip. Paid 50 cents. I bought a bunch of different kinds at a local thrift. It took 4 days to sell, sold for $11.75 free ship, and I netted about $8.50. Now, if you've seen a trend where I do a lot of free shipping, I kind of have no rhyme or reason to when I charge shipping and when I don't. I kind of just go by what the comps are doing. If the most recent sales I'll have free shipping, that's what I do. Either way, it's not like I'm selling something that's $20 and doing free shipping when the comps are showing $20 with shipping. So it's not like I'm losing money. I'm going with what the comps are, dictating. All right, next up, this was an interesting find. The brand is called Jenna Hip, and it's like a hand and nail cream. I found this at the Goodwill bins. When I was sorting through the clothing bin, this happened to be laying amongst the clothing. Very odd. And for some reason I picked it up. I never heard of it, and I just threw it on my lap and I said, I'll look it up later. And sure enough, I was surprised. So since it went by weight with the clothing that I bought, it probably cost me nothing, 25 cents maybe. Took 2 days to sell, sold for $32.75 with free shipping, and I netted about $24. So I do that all the time. When I see something odd in the bins, I just throw it down and look it up. It doesn't hurt. It takes a minute to do, and I found something good. All right, here's a good brand when it comes to Western wear and cowboy boots, Ariat. And these are boots that I found at the Goodwill bins. And I had thought these were colored by they're youth, they're kids' boots. And it looked like someone had colored them with a marker on the stitching to match the upper part of the leather, because it's like a raspberry color. But that's how they were made. Once I looked them up, I realized that. So I paid about $3 because it went by weight. And they're youth boots, so they weren't big and heavy. Took 3 months to sell. Sold for $44.95 with free shipping, and ended at roughly $35. So one thing about it, the Goodwill bins near me, the women there that hoard all the shoes, they don't touch any of the cowboy boots. They don't touch cycling shoes. So I always find those and they don't touch them, and there's profit there. Here's some blank media, always a good seller. Price is right, pick it up, whether it's music cassettes, VHS tapes, high 8 tapes, whatever be the case. I paid $2. I paid $1 per pack for these. There was 2 3-packs. Took 2 days to sell, sold for $18.75, free shipping. That's what the comps were dictating. So I ended up netting only about $6. But hey, $6 in a 2-day flip. All right, here's some more of that perfume that I had gotten free, and it's been selling off all the little samples. Not big money makers, but it is adding up. This was Van Cleef and Arpels. So 0 cost, took 2 weeks to sell, sold for $6.25 plus free shipping, and I netted about $2. But my running total on those, on the free samples that we got in the mail, is up into the 30s now. So effortless to do, and I'm making money. Right, the next item is a Sony QX10 camera. Very unique camera. I found this at a local thrift, and when I found it, it was like in a round little box that it comes in. I thought it was just, it literally looked like a camera lens, and I figured the camera part was missing. I even went to the guy and said, hey, something's missing. He's like, no, that's how it is. And once I looked it up, it's actually a really unique, if you see by the picture, it looks like a lens, but it has these 2 arms that open up and it attaches onto a smartphone. And then you can take pictures with the camera part that looks like a lens, and then it just sends the pictures into your camera or to your computer or whatever. So I thought about keeping it. I messed with it a little to make sure it worked, but I don't need another camera. So I paid $5 for this. It was marked as 10, but it was a half off day at a local thrift. Took 1 week to sell. I had gotten a few offers and I declined them, and then I had it listed for like in the 70s with best offer, because comps were kind of like spread anywhere between like $50 and $80. And I took an offer of $60 with $5 shipping, and I netted roughly $46. All right, next item up is something I've recently done. This is the second time I did it, and again I got this idea from my buddy Kevin, Commonwealth Picker. These are Malibu Pilates springs off a Pilates chair. I saw them in the bins. I took the springs off, because once the people use the equipment for a long period of time, the tension springs are going to wear and they're not going to be as taut. So they charged me $1 for the 2 springs at the bins. It took 1 month to sell, sold for $23.75, free shipping, and I netted roughly $15. So think outside the box, and there's profit there. The next item is a Ford racing shirt. It's kind of like a pit crew, racing team, had all the patches on it. Found this at the bins, so probably paid like not even $1, 50 cents to $1. Took 4 days to sell. I actually found this, if you remember seeing it, I found this probably like 2 months ago, and I just had never listed it. So when I did finally list it, sold in 4 days for $24.75, free ship, and I netted roughly $17. Here's another perfume, Frederic Mallet, and 0 cost. Sold in 2 weeks, $8.95 free shipping. I netted roughly about $4.50, $4.75. So now my total for the perfumes are up to almost $40. Here's a book. I kind of stopped selling my books on Amazon. I still have an inventory of over 200 that's active there. I haven't been sending it anymore because I'm not really scanning books. So I kind of pick up a book here and there and just throw it on eBay. And I sell a handful of books a month. I often don't put them onto these what's sold because, it's just a book. But every once in a while I'll pop one in just to say, hey, you can sell books on eBay. So I paid 50 cents for this at a local thrift. It sold in 4 months. This was originally supposed to go into Amazon with one of my shipments, but then I never sent it in because I forgot the reason why. I think the price dropped on it before I was able to send it in. So it sold on eBay for $11.95 with free ship. Most books you can just put in a medium mail. It starts at $2.75 per pound for the first pound, but now the USPS is about to raise their rates, so I don't know, it might go up a few cents. And After shipping and everything, I netted about $7. And lastly, this is a pretty unique piece that I found at the bins. It's called an otoscope, and if you can see by the picture, it's the piece that attaches onto the wand when the doctor looks in your ear, your nose, your throat. And this was just the casing of it. It didn't have a bulb inside, and it was inside the box, and it was just laying in the hard goods bin at the Goodwill bins. And I saw it, and when I saw the brand Welch Allen, I knew that that's like a medical device company. So I opened it up, and there it was. I comped it, and it had good comps. And they charged me, when I went up to the counter, I said, hey, this is like a magnifying glass, I told her. She was like, 50 cents. So it took 1 week to sell, sold for $38.75 plus $4 shipping, and I made $32 on it. Okay, so the total buy cost for these 15 items that sold was $11.50. Some were free, most were from the bins or from a local thrift where my buy costs are usually like $1 or $2. So I always look for that low buy cost, and that allows you to be flexible with your selling price and still make a good profit. And the profit on these 15 items was roughly $247. So 11 change into 247. And these are sales. 15 sales for me is usually in a 3-day range, maybe 4 days, depends. So that's pretty good. So I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.